So back in the day, I was a real piece of shit. Let me tell you, I was a fucking sack of shit for a kid. And like, I know a lot of kids are a sack of shit. Like, most kids fucking suck, but I sucked more than usual. And being a sack of shit, I got in trouble a lot. Now, I kinda deserved most of them, but a lot of them I didn't deserve. And to give you context, to let you know how often I was in trouble and how much of a piece of shit I was in detention. I was in detention for most days, you know? And there was this one teacher I had beef with. We were fucking beefing, dude. And to tell you how much I beefed with this teacher, let me give you a little context. The 1 year I had that teacher, in 1 year with having that teacher, I got 25 detentions from her. So that's cool. And I skipped a lot, so that was a lot of detentions. But back in the early days of me, I was a fiend. I was a fucking loser, dude. And one of my first fiend activities involved this teacher. One of my first art pieces of the bullshit dickheadery involved this teacher. See, on this particular day, the teacher wasn't around. I don't know where the fuck she was, but she wasn't around, and we had a substitute. And also, on this particular fucking day, the substitute left, and the class was accidentally just open. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just like, after school, just going around, and I saw the classroom was open, and no one was there. And my stupid idiot brain that had nothing better to do because I was a fucking loser decided, hey, I'm gonna go in that classroom and fucking cause some mayhem. So, I went in, and I changed every single fucking computer screen. Every single lock screen on the computer to a custom image of my design. See, I had this teacher that he was a little bit of a buffoon. He liked dabbling in the funnies from time to time. So on Google Classroom, because he would post all of our shit to Google Classroom, and occasionally on Google Classroom he would post a little funny image of himself going like, whoa, look at how wacky I am. And in this image he was you know, he was just so I decided I'm gonna take that little snippet of his face and put that bad boy on fucking Mr. Macho Man Randy Savage, and put a fucking image on the backdrop of World War III, and there was fucking rainbows everywhere, and I called it my Rainbow Mr. Macho Man but I called it my Rainbow Mr. Teacher. I'm not gonna say his name, so he's gonna be known as Mr. Teacher. Randy Savage. My Rainbow Mr. Macho Man Mr. Teacher Randy. I forget. Wait. My Rainbow World War III Mr. Teacher Randy Savage art piece. And it was beautiful. And I posted it onto the backdrop of every single fucking computer. So it was their like login screen or whatever it's called. Like the fucking the home screen or something. I don't know which one's which. I'm a little bit of a dumbass. But you log into your computer, and before you log into your computer, you see that. It's like the screen that happens before you log in. So everyone in first period the next morning had the pleasure of seeing my art piece right before they logged into their computer. And when they logged off, they had the pleasure to witness it again. Their eyes were blessed with my art piece. And the teacher, she was a little bit of a dumbass. She didn't really know how computers worked. Despite the fact that she taught computers and engineering, she didn't know how shit worked. So to my delight, when I got in there, period 3, I was period 3. By the time I got in there, my artwork was still up for most of the computers. Some kids, I think, figured out how to take it down. But for most of the computers, I saw my shit and I was so fucking proud. And the teacher was not as proud of me. The teacher was pissed. She was like, who the fuck did this? And then she went dictator mode and was like, yo, tell me who's gonna do this, who did this. And everyone was like, I don't fucking know. So then I was with my homie, I was with the homie. I'm not gonna say his name because of privacy. Let's call him Skylar. I was with the homie Skylar, and then we were laughing all the whole time because she was going dictator mode, and we did not like that teacher. We were just making fun of her. She's like, she's a walrus, dude, because we're in fucking middle school. We made fun of people's weight. That's what middle school boys did. Okay, I'm sorry, but that's what we did. We were like, she's fat and she's angry. It was stupid. We were in fucking middle school. What do you expect from me? I was a 6th grader. Come on, dude. So then my dude was like, dude, that shit was fucking hilarious. Skylar and I were laughing, and then we were in passing period. I was like, yo, homie, don't tell anyone, but I did that shit. And he's like, yo, fuck yeah, bro, you did that shit? And we were hyped, and I was like laughing. I was like, yeah, I did that shit. And I was living the high of my life. It was beautiful. And for the next 3 days, I think, or for the next 2 days, it lasted 3 days. My art lasted a whole 3 days, and for the next 2 days, she was bringing down the hammer. She was like, who the fuck did this? And then she was like, if no one tells me who did this, I'm gonna give you all detention. You're all gonna get in trouble. You're all gonna be, like, doomed if no one could tell me who could do this. And since she didn't know what period it was, and she didn't know, like, who it was, her threatening to give all 6 of her classes, like 30 students each, detention. I don't think she could have done that. So most of us called her bluff and was like, all right. But then after a while, she kept saying that every day. And after a while, she was like, oh, I'm getting close. I'm getting close. If no one folds, I'm going to give everyone detention. And eventually my friend was like, I won't get detention, man. And I was like, pussy. Because, like, we know she's not gonna do it. But the saddest thing ever happened. He folded. My homie folded. And the next day, I walked in, and to my dismay, to the horror of my brain, I walked in, and everyone's lock screens were normal. They were all set back to what they were. And I almost cried. Halfway into the period, I got a thing saying to go to the principal's office, and I was like, oh fuck, man. So I walked in. I forget the details because this was a while ago, but I walked in, and I remember I met the vice principal. The vice principal put his arms around me, and I could smell the fucking cigarette on his breath, and he, like, leaned in way too close. It smelled like cigarettes and weed, and he, like, leaned in way too close, and he was like, hey, man, we need to talk about what you did. I was like, what did I do? So then he's like, all right, come in my office. And I feel like I got off so lucky because this guy was known for being a fucking absolute asshole. And we made fun of him, but he was known for just giving everyone the fucking stick, just no mercy, just dog boning all these children, you know? It was rough out there, homie. So then he took me in, and I was like, God damn it, I'm fucked. He's like, hey, Atlas, you're a good kid. You're a good kid. You have no detentions on your records. You've never been in trouble before. I was like, wait, what? What the fuck? I have no I've never been in trouble. Okay. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you. I had at least like 20 detentions, but for some reason, none of my teachers decided to fucking mark them against me and put them on my record. So he's just like, you have no detentions. You've never been in trouble before. You get pretty good grades. Now, what did you do? And I was like, I don't know, man. I don't know why I'm in here. And then he goes on his computer, turns the monitor, and I see Mr. Macho Man Randy Savage with my teacher's face on his body and the fucking gay World War II background, World War III background, whatever, in the fucking, on the computer, the image of what I did on the computer. And he's like, Atlas, be honest with me, did you do this? And I was trying so hard not to laugh because I wasn't expecting it. He just flipped over the computer and there was my masterpiece. And I was like, and he's like, did you do this, Atlas? And I was like, yes, I did it. He's like, you're a good kid. You're a good kid. And this is your first offense. You seem like a good kid just talking to you. And I was like, well, why is he calling me a good kid all the time? I think he was a little bit stoned. I didn't understand how drugs worked. I just was like confused, and and then he's like, here's what I'm gonna do. You could either get a 2-day suspension or something like that. Yeah, he's like, you could either get a 2-day suspension or I could give you a double detention. And I was like, wait, what? Why is this an option? So then I'm like, I'd choose the double detention, because why the fuck would I choose the 2-day suspension? Because that's like way worse for me, I think. And detentions aren't that bad. I was usually like in detention most of the time already, and I've never gotten suspension, and this is probably actually gonna go on my permanent record. So I was just like, detention? And he's like, don't ever do this again. And I was just like, okay. So then I went back to the classroom, and then she's like, what did he do? Are you expelled? Are you suspended? And I was like, nah, I got a double detention. And she's like, that's not good enough. So then she gave me another detention for defiance, because she said that like that double detention for what I did. And this one is for not fessing up and lying to her for the entirety of the 3 days and defying her and being rude to her and all that shit, which is bullshit. But like, you know, she's like, since you took 3 days to fess up and you didn't like tell the truth and all that shit, and we were gonna give you another detention. I was like, whatever, man. And yeah, there's a short little story of like the shit I used to get up to in that class, and I have so many more stories just from that class, and I have so much more stories of me getting in trouble. So if you want to see that, I got you, homie. But yeah, if you like this, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll probably do more. Who knows?